at the situation.
Well, right now we have 50 states, and I think 43 of them are out of balance. In other words, they have real economic problems, financial problems, if you will. Now, within the last couple of 3 years ago, Indiana decided that it was $78 million in the hole, and all of a sudden now they're like $2 billion ahead. And what they did was they went and took a portion of the road, changed it into a toll road, and gave a foreign entity, a government, say, 75 years to collect. And in exchange for that privilege, the state got $3.5 billion. So that's how come they got out of their financial difficulties and had a lot of reserve. And the reason was they were just managing for commercial reasons, apparently, and whoever that entity was at foreign, the corporation now, have gotten the rights to charge a toll road for 75 years. I don't know how to react to that. Is that a wise thing to do or an unwise thing to do? Or I don't know. What do you think?
We all, depending upon our ingenuity and how informed we are, devise ways to carry on, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay. So we're going to have to practice the commercial rules in the commercial jurisdictionless, if you like, words, and use our intuition and intuitive nature to come out on top, I suppose, is what you're saying is certainly the corporations got us in a deep hole. I mean, $16 trillion is a serious amount of money.
I'm working on another book right now. This is a huge project. It's titled Encyclopedia of Observations.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
A Creed for Living Life. Now, your first thought may be, well, who's this guy thinking his observations are a creed for living life? Those are not my observations that I'm talking about. They're your observations. As I am observing your comments right now, it's everybody's observations. Mm-hmm. And this encyclopedia is going to have the reader form a creed for living life by their own observations. Well, it's an interesting project in which I have several University of Wisconsin graduates and students working to help me assemble it.
Good.
But it's meant to provide solutions. And where I'm going with this is that to fight or to take the control back from corporations, we have to act as responsible individuals.
Good point.
All of the technology and status of living today was created by individuals.
Okay.
The example I give in my book, CORPORACRACY, is Henry Ford designed and built the automobile. He was an individual.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ford Corporation has now, and not only the Ford Corporation, but the GM Corporation and all the other automobile and oil corporations have now taken what an individual did and turned it against us. And in essence, they've made us dependent on it.
Okay.
And now they're polluting our planet with it and looking only at profit, not on how they can resolve the situation of pollution and global warming. Most of them don't even recognize it. But again, an individual to the corporation, and the corporation is screwing it up.
Okay. Is that what the main theme of corporocracy is? Or is this a new book?
No, that's corporacracy.
Okay.
In my book, Corporacracy, it starts with an introduction which explains corporacracy. And then the book is a novel. So the main thrust of the book is entertaining, and it does take into consideration, you'll recognize things that have happened in the last 8 years.
Okay. Now, how do we go about getting your book?
It can be ordered at any of the bookstores, the major bookstores like Barnes and Noble. I don't know if they have it on their shelves. Amazon has it. You can order it through Amazon. It's also on their Kindle, so you can get it through the cyber world. And you can go on, go to Amazon.com, go to their Kindle section, and I believe they have a free preview of the introduction, which I consider the most important part. And then the entertaining part would take in the first couple chapters.
Okay. I have a question I need to ask you about now. If you're saying that our city, state, and federal and world governments are all corporations, how do they get to be corporations that have any influence on us? I mean, or do they make us look at something we don't see, or they make us take an action through distress like they did you? I'm a little bit confused now. How did these governments get to be corporations?
Well, for instance, you've heard of the name Murdoch?
Yes.
Okay. He is an officer in a corporation. That corporation is one of the hugest controllers of the media. You are a part of the media also.
Oh, yes. But I'm not part of Rupert Murdoch's
media. In one way or
media.
another, you are involved with corporate control. But you're obviously, I feel I'm talking to a good part of the corporocracy when I'm talking to you.
Okay.
But
Thank
yet,
you.
I'm talking to the corporocracy, to the corporations. But the major television networks, the major radio networks, the major newspaper networks are all part of the corporocracy. They're all controlled by corporations.
Well, that's certainly true of radio the last few years. One company, I think, got to 1,200 and something radio stations. Another one got 600. So, and what happens is when those corporate shirts come in to dictate, they could care less about what the people think. They're just going out to make profit, right?
That's it.
So, as a result, they've pretty much destroyed radio as a whole. I mean, it's they don't play anything except profit-making songs. They have what they call an A-list, and they don't play B-list artists. Those artists who have maybe in the last 8 years had a hit, they don't play it now because they're not current. So anyway, that's...
And I would encourage you and your listeners and everybody to think of that circle that I just depicted. as to how it goes around full tilt from our government, the wealthy, the corporate leaders, goes all the way around back to passing laws which perpetuate the whole situation.
Well, what you're saying is that circle needs to be broken, is that right? And so that at least we don't have laws that are based on greed, but laws based on integrity and character and principle, is that right?
Yeah, based on laws for the people.
Okay.
Yeah. People making laws for the people.
So what
that's the way our forefathers envisioned it, and that's the way it should be brought back. That's what it should be brought back to.
Mr. Welch, it seems like you're saying we've got to decide to put off our slavery shackles and become free men. Is that true or not?
That's true.
Okay. And the corporation is what has enslaved us because we're in a tight circle, as you described, or we're manipulated at best so that the laws will be passed that favor them, not us, right?
That's correct.
I think I'm beginning to get it. Okay, well, we have now in this country, we're supposed to have a revolution every 4 years, called an election. Do you think there's any possibility that we can throw off our corporate shackles and get back to be living human beings again, or do you think that's a pipe dream? What do you think?
I think we're moving in the right direction. One big factor is the internet, and people are becoming more informed.
Okay.
And that's the whole key, is for people to be informed and educated and aware. And whereas there's a lot of propaganda that comes over the internet too. If people will take the responsibility to sift out the bad information and recognize the good information, that's the best and biggest start that we can implement.
So what you're saying, we need to continue our sifting out of the internet, et cetera, and take that information and go sift out those who are irresponsible and greedy in Congress and other places that impact on our lives on a daily basis. Am I saying that correct or not?
Yes. Yes, you are, Jack.
I'm just trying to follow your thinking, is all.
It's a matter of... Let me relate to my own experience here. I just received an email the other day from a very good friend.
We got to be quickly, got about 30 seconds.
Okay, I received an email from a very good friend, and it was political in nature, actually negative to our current president.
Mm.
But they had their... I went and investigated what their email stated was wrong, and found that they were incorrect, and that they were actually spreading rumors.
They're trying to do a CORPORACRACY. Anyway, I got to go. Thank you, Mr. Welch. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Very nice talking to you.
My pleasure.